Hi, my name is Jeremy Fox. This is my week 2 reflection video for MUX term 1211. This week we had to finalize our prototype application or application prototype and go get it tested, basically. Go do some user testing using our discussion guide, our defined tasks, and the follow-up survey, and report back what we found. So after all of my user testing and pooling of my data, I made a short list of the main pros, cons, and then I've got the survey results as well. So the pros that I got as far as feedback went while people were testing the app was they really liked the idea of being able to instantly share photos without having to manually select and share them one at a time, which is the way it currently is on iPhone. You have to take pictures and then you have to go into the photo app and then select individual photos and select who you want to share them with and how you want to share them. So it's kind of a tedious task, so people really like the concept. It was very simple to navigate. There wasn't a whole lot of navigating even required. There's only really just kind of 4 main screens, kind of the home screen, which is very bare bones and minimal, the history, the settings, and then the actual camera feature. So everybody said that it was very minimal, and they liked how easy it was to navigate. They liked that the camera feature was pretty much identical to that of the native iOS camera, so they instantly felt familiar with it. And I went through a little, I don't want to say great lengths because the icons weren't very hard to reproduce, but I tried to reproduce the icons that you see in the native iOS camera app as closely as possible in my camera feature in my app and the app prototype, just so that for that exact reason, so that when people were using it, they instantly knew what was what and how to use it, so they're familiar with it. And I got good feedback about that. Overall was very simple to use and didn't try to display too much at once. Yeah, I got a few people who said they've used other apps, like Instagram was brought up, because this is kind of somewhat in the same vein of Instagram, but not really, because this doesn't really display a public timeline kind of like Instagram does. But people said that Instagram has a lot going on in it versus this, which is very minimal, which is good. And they liked the icons. Everything was self-explanatory, meaning most of the icons in my app match that of native iOS icon. So it was instantly familiar, like the sharing icon and the settings icon being the little cog, the little gear, and the history being a little clock. So it was all familiar. They didn't have to try to click around to figure out what was what. They knew what it was going to be when they touched it. Cons. Most thought having the camera feature load instantly would be better. I can't say most, I would say half, as the survey results said, so I've worded that wrong, but it should say about half of the people said that they would have instantly rather, instead of seeing the home screen first, just have it instantly load up to the camera so that they can take pictures quicker. If they were trying to snap off a quick picture, they would have to go through the home screen otherwise. Yeah. A couple users thought since the camera feature looked and felt so much like the native iOS camera app, they could take pictures using the volume buttons on the side of the phone like the native iOS camera app allows. So that is something I didn't even ever think about because I don't do that myself. But I actually saw a couple users pick the phone up and try to take a picture using the volume controls. And when it didn't work, that's when they brought up the fact that that felt like it should work because the camera feature in my app looks almost identical to the iOS app, so they figured it would just work, but it didn't. So I would need to add support for that. And then also, I'm not supporting landscape orientation right now at all in the app. It's completely locked in portrait, mainly because of time restraints. So I got a couple people saying that that they don't feel like it would let them take a horizontal or landscape photo. And they like to do that often, so I would need to handle that as well. So the survey results seemed pretty good. So the survey questions was your overall impression of the app. I got 100% awesome. So everybody thought the app was really nice. Was the brand distinguishable? From other apps like it, I got 100% yes. How difficult was the basic task? Everybody said it was 100% easy. Were the navigation cues easy to interpret? Again, 100% yes. What was confusing, if anything? This I don't think is accurate. So maybe I'm thinking that some of the people who I had testing the app must not have filled out the survey, because I got 100% that said none, but I do think there was at least one person, unless they went ahead and filled in the survey and said that it wasn't a big enough deal, and just left it as the none. Then nothing I can do about that, I guess. But there was at least one person I do think that brought up something that was confusing, and I think it was the whole orientation thing. So where when they rotated to landscape, they felt like since none of the buttons or anything rotated, it was confusing if it was going to actually take a landscape photo or not. But I guess maybe they decided not to mark that as something that was confusing in the survey. But the last survey question was, would you like the app to instantly take you to the camera feature instead of the home screen when you start the app? And 50% said yes and 50% said no. So that's it's a hard one to decide, but I would say since at least 50% of the people did say yes, then that's probably something I need to consider, is just taking them straight to the camera. So that is all the data that I have pulled together from my user testing. I think I got some really good feedback on it, and some things that I obviously need to fix and handle in the app. And I think that the concept is there. I think people are interested in it, and I definitely am interested in continuing on with this even after the class. So I'm excited. That's all I have for right now. So thank you for watching.